Hello, if you're a first time buyer and you're looking to get onto the property ladder this year, then this video is for you and will hopefully give you some good advice and some useful tips. My first tip is to make sure you understand the true cost and affordability of buying. Obviously you'll have your deposit and you'll need to speak to a mortgage advisor to find out your borrowing capability, but you need to consider the additional costs beyond this, like legal fees, surveys, the dreaded stamp duty, potential refurbishment costs, and if you're buying a leasehold property, the service charge on top of your mortgage and everyday bills. Now, tip number 2, whilst we're on the subject of leasehold, it's important that you understand exactly what leasehold means. Mainly, what is the length of lease that is remaining, and if there are any restrictions on the lease that may affect your ability to A, get a mortgage on the property, for example if it's too short, B, your day-to-day enjoyment or use of the property, such as restrictions on pets or potentially renting the property out in the future, and C, will it affect my ability to sell the property in the future when I'm ready to move? It's also worthwhile checking the service charges and ground rents whilst you're there. Tip 3, ask questions and avoid emotional decisions. Get to know the local market pricing and be comfortable with property values to avoid overpaying and overstretching your budget. Knowledge is power and it will give you more confidence when you're negotiating your offer. Don't be afraid to ask questions when you're on the viewing with either the agent or the owner, and perhaps make a list of questions that are important to you before you go. Tip 4, have a home buyer's survey done. Don't skip it to save cost, but also don't panic when you read the report. Surveys can be scary and tend to give you a worst case scenario with lots of possibles and maybes. I think it's worth revisiting the property with a recommended builder or a family member that's got property experience to rationally review the report. It's important to check the key features that tend to be the most costly, like the roof, boiler, electrics, windows, and any signs of dampness. But the cosmetic defects, they can be easily rectified. Finally, tip 5. Whilst you need to think about your immediate reasons for wanting to buy and where you're buying, such as perhaps transport links for your work commute, you really need to consider how long you intend to stay in the property and whether it will meet your future needs. Buying with the future in mind can save you money and stress, especially if you are planning a family. So there you have my top 5 tips to avoid the common pitfalls of buying your first home. If you're thinking of taking the plunge or have any questions about purchasing your property, please feel free to get in touch. I'll be more than happy to help, and if you know of anyone that may benefit from watching this video, please share it with them.